Hello, all my little storms, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be doing some more art, and particularly, we are going to be doing some promotional art for my upcoming comic, The Art of Chaos. And if you haven't heard about it, well, you're hearing it now. Welcome! I actually do have a thing to show you. I remade the cover art. So let me just quickly pull that up for you guys, and we are going to be making some, promotional art based around, the cover, here, and you might notice, character art looks a lot different in this. Yeah, I have to record a whole entire new thing, but for those that don't know, I revamped my entire website, because I did have a website. I used to have it, I just never ended up using it very much, but I revamped it, because now that is where I'm going to be hosting the comic. So it will no longer be hosted on Ko-Fi. I know that some people were a little, I don't think that anybody was really concerned about that. Honestly, I think it's way better to have a website, because then I can honestly put all of the cool, awesome things. I'm doing some other little extra bits for you guys that I'm going to be dropping as well for the comic. So there might, even if I am not able to post up chapter 1, I will have things posted up to prepare you for chapter 1. Including some character profiles, and of course some art of the characters, and also some side characters that you're going to get introduced to. I will post up characters as time goes on, meaning like there will be more added to the showcase over time. But the entire main cast will be up there for you guys. But any side characters or reoccurring characters will be popping up in there when they are going to be showing up in the comic. So there is a few other things I'm doing alongside it, but if you do want to go in and check it out yourself, I need to make a command for this, but for right now, I am just going to drop the link. Because I am an idiot and don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, so let me just like quickly copy this and paste this in here. But that is the comic. That is directly. Oh wait, what? Huh? What? What? Why is it saying that I can't pin something? Excuse me. Oh, do I need to like write something in, and I can't just have it be a link? Really? Oh my god. I'll make a command for it or something that I can, or like a thing for it, but that directly goes to it. You cannot see any of the character showcases or anything else I'm working on in the background, but if you go and click on that link, it will lead you directly to the prologue, where there is an announcement about when it is coming out, the specific date. I will be making a fuller announcement on Twitter, like as it gets closer. But honestly, I'm kind of thinking, I'm just like, maybe I should post it up soon. But like, first off, we need to do the model reveal. We need to get the 2.0 model reveal finished, so that then I can pin that. But a little showcase here of the of this art will be up. But the promotional art that we're doing right now is basically taking this cover art, and I'm basically trying to redo it to see if I can redo it, because I loved how the shading and coloring came out on this. Showcase time gets popcorn. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I will say this much. If we get the model, whenever we get the model reveal finished, whenever it's finished, we will do a just chatting stream of me going and just oogling and googling at all the process that went into literally making my model. It won't be the rigging part, but it'll definitely be like, because this, I think for my 2.0, this was like over a year of progress. Like, I was already sketching out my 2.0 before I had debuted this rebrush mod, like before I got my like 1.5, which is this one, you know, which I had done on my birthday like last year, which was so yeah, it's been a bit, you know, it's been a while. So actually, I think it was like, yeah, definitely like 2-3 years ago. No, definitely like a year ago. Definitely like over a year of progress. So there's a lot of sketches and stuff that I have of what my original concept was for the 2.0 and then what it ended up being. Because it was a whole entire different, like, lore expansion that it was. So the thing is, a lot of people might be like, oh, is your 2.0 a rebranding? Because it looks so much no, it's not a rebranding. My 2.0 is definitely not a rebranding. It is a lore I like to call it a lore expansion. If anything, think a little bit how Iron Mouse is, okay? Like, you know, she has a bunch of models, but it's just because she likes dressing up in a whole bunch of different stuff, right? That's kind of how she explains it. Or like they're variants of each other, right? So it's just like added to the lore, right? That's basically what I'm doing, but instead an actual lore expansion where it makes sense. But I've had this in the back of my mind for a really long time, and yeah, I'm excited. Even me just seeing this cover art for the Art of Chaos is getting me excited as well. Like the first picture that I drew was good, but this one I feel like really just shows the bleakness of what is going to encompass this story. It is not a happy story. It is not a good tale. It is very heart-wrenching at times, and there's a fucking war going on. Of course it's not gonna be a good thing. Actually, I think I have like a whole entire thing. It's a fantasy adventure that has dark themes, romance, definitely LGBTQ plus representation for all those people out there, and yeah, because you know when you're able to write your own stuff, you can make them gay. You can make it gay, and no one will question you. So yeah. I am, again, very excited to be debuting it. I'm going to see how far I can get with chapter 1, and I hope I can finish it. My goal is to try and finish it before the actual release date, which is like, you should probably have the chapter done before the date, but I'm just like, no, I have the date there, so that then I try and get it done. But I'm working on commissions and a few other things, because I feel like I've made these people wait too long as it is. But yeah, so there's that. So trying to get the 2.0 model reveal, because then I can talk about that stuff. And the Art of Chaos will be debuting, or releasing, or however it is, launching on my website. It will be there on, oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, it's because I'm like listening to something. On June 21st. So that's the day it's releasing. Which is a Friday. It is a Friday, so basically if you're not able to read it on the Friday, then, you know, you can read it on Saturday or whatever. I was able to get a comment section, so you guys can leave comments and do upvotes and likes and all of that stuff. I will, of course, be going through and maybe blocking certain things that people say really weird shit. But yeah. For the most part, I feel like the only one that probably will be debuted, unfortunately, or like the only chapter will be the prologue. But that's okay, because my thing is, as long as it's out there. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, I want to binge more chapters, and it's just like, no, it's okay. Because the prologue in itself of how I wrote it is supposed to be a one-shot, so it's like a precursor. It's It's very important. But I do have everything of chapter 1 sketched out. I just don't have the color and art for it done. So yeah. Also, I do hope that you guys like that I changed, I actually have a title icon for the thing. Because I was like looking at it and I'm like, I need this to look prettier. So now there's the actual title icon, which is that, which I feel is very good. But yeah. Also, a lot of people might be looking at Art and how she's holding the spear. Don't ask about it, okay? I just gonna have it be that Art does not know how to really wield a spear. Or like she wields it weirdly because she's so short. You're gonna see the height with everybody else eventually. I'll do a character lineup for the showcases. It's very anime. Yeah, I mean, like, I am inspired by a lot of anime, so... And the other thing is that if I had the spear down in a different way, then you wouldn't see that it was a spear. Like, what weapon she was holding, it would have looked like a staff. And the thing is that it's not a staff. So I had to put it in a different position in order for it to look good. It's actually the same thing, the reason why, like, Thanatos, because if you looked at Thanatos from Hades, he's actually not holding his scythe correctly either, but it's because he's trying to show it off, so you have to hold it in, like, a different position. But just know that in the comic, she does not hold the spear like this. Unless she's trying to be intimidating. Character art doesn't do this unless she's intimidating. But we'll take a look at some of the colors because you might notice that there is some character differences and changes, and that is because of how things are going to be set up within the comic. So this is very much warrior battle ready art. Like she's ready for a fight. She's very ready for a fight, and she's ready to beat up anyone. And I love it. Honestly, really love how the hair came out on this, and I think I recreated it well for the promo art as well. So you look kind of like a Sentai. What's a Sentai? Huh? Wait, what's a Sentai? I don't know. I don't know what a Sentai is. Am I an idiot? Do I know what that is? Power Rangers? I mean, yeah, no, you're right. It does look like a Power Ranger, doesn't it? Well, I was trying to make her look stealth-like, you know? Because she's supposed to do a lot of stealth work. But, yeah, no, I can see the Power Ranger one as well. Honestly, if anybody does remember how I originally looked, I used to actually wear, and I was dressed up in, like, a battle outfit before, and it's supposed to be inspired by that, but I changed up the colors a lot more. So it's actually supposed to be representational of that. I don't know if I even have some of those old pictures of my original idea of what I used to be. Or at least, like, my original outfit. Because I used to be in, like, a more battle-ready fighting one. And this outfit... By the way, this outfit that I'm currently wearing is my casual outfit. And yes, it will be referenced in the comic as well. When, I think maybe chapter 4 is when it will be showed off. I will say there is a little funny thing with it. Let's just say that this top used to not be a top. There was more to it, and art removes it. It leads to some funny dialogue, at least from what I've written out. It's hilarious. I love it. You're gonna love it. There are some funny, wholesome moments in there, because I still want to keep some moments lighthearted, because even though that it is definitely going to be a much more darker, at least a little bit on the darker path sometimes with things, and just, like, how the world is very, very, like, not nice, there are going to be some moments where it's, like, you know, something cute and something wholesome. I especially think that for chapter 3, which I have planned out as well, is very much more about a more homely, wholesome moment before, you know, I just grab you and thrust you into something else. So, yeah. I will grab you by your neck and throw you into something else. And you're just gonna be like, what the fuck? It's like, Art, what are you doing to us? It's like, look, at the end of the day, my job is to make you feel like a victim. And if I've accomplished that, and I've made you feel things, that's all I need. That's all I need as a person writing my stuff. Not everyone will like it. I completely understand that. I know that not everyone will like it. I know that also people will ship certain characters very hard. And I'm offense to that because even I ship my own characters very hard. There are some characters, though, that when everything does come out and, like, we see, like, most of the full main cast, that I will be like, please, guys, do not ship these characters together. Especially, I will say, when the first chapter comes out for the comic, I feel like a lot of people might end up shipping Art and Luthador together. Please don't.
I'm shipping them right now, so enjoy that knowledge, Mum.
No, I mean it. I will say, I have a feeling that some people might ship Order and Chaos together, and I'm just gonna be like, guys, you do know that they're brothers. Like, the chapter is called, the prologue is called The Brothers. They are brothers. But honestly, when it comes to shipping stuff, I feel like some people just don't give a shit. I will say this much. For the comic, which is some boundaries I'm going to lay out now. I know the comic hasn't come out, but these are some things that I've seen when people are creating comics. If there are going to be really big diehard fans later on, it's my fucking comic and I get to do what I fucking want. Your little whiny chats about, oh, well, I want it to be like this, or why couldn't this situation happen, or why couldn't that have happened, or I don't feel like this is what the character would do. Bitch, I'm the one writing it. I know these characters better than you. I've worked 2 years on this passion project. I know this shit better than you, and I know what I want to create, and it's my fucking story at the end of the day. And no one can tell me otherwise. If there are hard Art Luthador shippers out there that in the future, because I know that that's going to happen, well, I'm sorry. This man is gay. Gay as shit. And Art doesn't need love in her life right now. So, like, leave it alone. But yeah. Apparently I saw that somebody was actually on, there was like some controversy on Webtoon in particular with a particular writer. First off, they were writing a thriller. So a thriller is like a horror, gore-ish kind of situation. And a lot of people were shipping like the two main leads together, which was a girl and a guy. So they're shipping them together really hard. And they're like, please. And they literally, people were flooding to this person, like emailing them, emailing the creator, right? Emailing the artist, the creator, saying, make our ship canon. And for, like, bigger people that have, like, agencies and all of that, they can be able to kind of filter and block that stuff out so the creator of it doesn't have to see it. But for me, like, I can see it. Like, that creator was able to see it and literally, because of how bad it was, didn't want to write it anymore. And for me personally, basically,
I will make the ship canon all right. Mwahahaha.
Yeah, I know you're joking, George. But it's more of just like, I'm just gonna be honest here. You can't tell me what to do, and I'm gonna do my own thing. And if people, like, start messaging me... Now, I will say this much. If people start trying to do death threats and stuff like that, I'm gonna call you out on your shit. I'm gonna blast you online for that. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
It sailed. Time to sink it.
Yeah, I don't care. I will blast you online. 100%. I don't give a shit. I will not give a shit. I will blast you online for that. Because at the end of the fucking day, it's my decision on what I want to do and how I want to make my comic and who I ship certain characters with and what certain characters end up with other characters. It isn't your shit. And the other thing is, if you don't like how I'm writing my stuff, but you are very interested in, like, how it's being written, then write your own shit. Do a what-if scenario. I actually would be 100% okay with seeing people do fan comics or edits or anything like that. Like, I'm fucking all for that. As long as you're not making any monetary money from it, right? I'm okay with that. But, like, going off and doing shit... do a George-style fan fiction. Yeah, like, you can go off and do a George-style fan fiction or something like that. You can have fun. And at the end of the day, like, if you guys like my comic and you enjoy it, and you go and create fan art for it, or create fan comics, or even do, like, voiceover comics, like, you know, I'm completely fine as long as, like, you know, one thing is like, if it's gonna be monetized, please ask for permission, like, you know, you know, because at the end of the day, it's like, it is my characters, and if you are making money from it, there is a problem, a small problem with that, because this is my IP, this is, like, my shit. But on that note of making money, I am gonna be releasing some merch. Probably not when it debuts, but merch will be coming out probably after chapter 1, with releasing some, like, character prints, so, like, mostly, like, prints and t-shirts and stickers and stuff, and that will be through my merch shop. Actually, I do have, I think it's this. There we go. So it'll be through like my art Threadless shop, which, yeah, it does give, like, good, it's, like, really good high quality stuff. So yeah, I have a lot planned for it. I'm super excited again. We'll be releasing June 21st on my website. So if you are ever confused about where to go, it's always in my card. For Twitch in particular, it's literally there as my website. For YouTube, I might just put it in I'll start putting it in this description below, just to, like, show off my website. And when you click into the card, it'll pop up on the home, and the little home button at, like, the very front, that first button, click on that and it'll lead you directly to the website. And then, you know, from there you can go and look at, like, my portfolio and all of that sort of stuff. And then, of course, like, go over and click on webcomic, and they'll be up there. It might be, like, wondering why it's a drop down. It's in case I want to make any webcomics or other webcomics in the future, like little funny one-shots or something like that. Like, you know, what if I want to draw the adventures of George, you know? Like a little funny, like, meme comics like that, little funny, like, story, I would say episodic kind of ones, where it's just kind of, like, you know, one little thing at a time. I guess, like, as, like, a little break from the comic as well, just so you can have a little bit more fun, you know, and also so that George gets something a little fun as well, you know, just something fun and enjoyable for you guys. Just because I can. Oh, like the TFG comic had Little Richard? What? I do not know what an LFG comic is. Okay, do be in mind, I don't know a whole lot of comics. So, which is funny. I'm making a comic, and I actually haven't read a lot of comics before. I've read a lot of webcomics, and a lot of people might be wondering why I'm not doing it on Webtoon. So a lot of people might be wondering, why am I not making my comic on Webtoon? Webtoon has way too many controversies now. They treat their artists like shit. Their new Canvas isn't that bad, but I know that a lot of people do, like, try and find ways to be able to, like, get eyes to their comic that way. And as much as I would love that, I feel more secure in a way to have more... I want to have more control. I feel like Webtoon will not give me as much control over my webcomic as I want. General fantasy online. Oh, it's a general fan. Okay. Yeah. But I want to like, you know, I want to gear more of my stuff to just highlight my things more. And the other thing is like, I can be able to create like newsletters and stuff when it updates or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to do newsletters. I'm gonna figure that out. I gotta figure out how that works and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's the big thing. I like how this entire like chatting is just like me promoting my comic. But honestly, it does need to be promoted. But if you like fantasy, if you like action adventures with dark themes, and there is some romance in it as well, you know, found family, I'm trying to like highlight all the tropes. Enemies to lovers, soulmates, I don't know. There's a lot of themes and tropes in it, but the overarching theme is found family is definitely probably the biggest one, because art has a very much found family. And also, of course, you know, the friends we make along the way. Yes, I know it's a very cheesy trope of the friends we made along the way, but it's actually kind of necessary. Lots of fantasy, definitely interaction with gods. Like, there's big, powerful gods that do interact with a lot. And just a lot of cool, interesting fantasy mechanics as well. I would say, like, it's not that complicated of mechanics, because I kind of kept it a little loosey-goosey with the mechanics, because I didn't want to fully think about it. But there are, like, restrictions and things that you can and can't do. So, I have basic rule set. And sometimes that's all you need. But, like, you know, if you're interested in the idea of that, and if you're also interested about the complexities of how different cultures and everything works, yeah, I've thought a lot about world building for this. There's a lot of world building. I will say this much, though. I suck at backgrounds, so early on, the backgrounds might not be so great, but as time goes on, I feel like I'll get better at it, so that's just something that probably is going to be happening, honestly. But honestly, background and scenery is not that important, because I actually do want to focus more on the characters. But when it's a really cool background or a really cool scene that you want to see, trust me, I'm going to spend the amount of time to be able to make that shit look cool. Because I can spend as much time as I need to be able to create it. I will say, for the most part, when a chapter comes out, it might be like once a month. And the reason being is because I want to be able to put in as much time and effort to be able to create it. And the other thing is, like, I might be working on other things. Like, I'm doing streaming, I'm doing all my editing and all my clips and stuff like that. If I had more time, like, you know, if I had more time to be able to, like, do all this stuff, like, I would be able to, like, work on it more. But because I don't really have anybody and it's just little me, like, it might only be able to be posted, you know, a chapter, like, once a month, or, you know, depending on situations, when it can be. But I'm gonna try and aim for, like, about once a month. That's why I'm like, let me get on to the next chapter and the next chapter, so I kind of have, like, already a head on it, before the next chapter gets posted. And it might be a bad idea to be posting, like, chapter by chapter. It's like, you should have, like, a backlog. Do I do that? No, because I'm just like, at this point, I just want the comic out by now. Because, like, if I just created a backlog, the comic wouldn't be debuted until next year, and I just am like, I don't want to make you guys wait a year. I don't want to wait a year. So I'm like, debut it now. Worry about things later. But I'll take, like, breaks and some hiatuses here and there. So like if I really want to create a backlog, I'll take like a hiatus for a month to just basically work on some chapters, and then we'll be able to be more consistent. I would like eventually to get down to bi-weekly, but I don't think that that's going to be a possibility, honestly. But anyways, I think we've been sitting and talking here for long enough, promoting this comic to just go kind of right into working on the promotional art. But yeah, so we're gonna just kind of jump in here to the promotional art. Oh, by the way, Jose did say, he was like, hey, make this into a shirt. And I definitely wear it. And I'm like, really? You'd wear this as a shirt? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So we might make it into some shirts and sweatshirts and all that sort of stuff. Like, we have a way of how we're gonna go about doing it. But yeah, so there is gonna be some merch of the cover, and I personally think that it should be a good idea to maybe make some promotional art of your comic, because then the cool thing is that people can go like, oh, what are you wearing there? What's this? And then you can like link it and talk. Because honestly, I think a lot of people don't understand the power of word of mouth. And word of mouth is the best thing. Because people like getting recommendations from other people. Meaning, I can spout all about it as much as I want. At the end of the day, it's based on how you guys take it. And also the other thing is, the other cool thing is, like, it would just be, you know, cool to just, I don't know, see you guys wearing actual, like, stuff from it, like, you know, art that I created. Like, every time that I see you guys, like, buy stuff from my store as it is, and you guys are actually using it and wearing it actually makes me cry. I'm, like, so happy. I still need to buy my own merch. I haven't done that for, like, ever since I launched my merch store. I just keep forgetting to fucking buy it for myself so I can wear it and promote it. But hey, that's just how it be sometimes, isn't it? I need to get some prints. I know that much. I do want prints. I do want prints of most of the stuff that I create. Because it would be awesome to just kind of like hang it up in here and just like basically have a little shrine, you know? Have a little shrine. But yeah, so without any further ado, let's actually move over in here because I keep forgetting to do that. Let me get my drawn pen here. So we got the pen going. So anyways, we have two things that we're gonna work on today, by the way. So we have this where you're gonna see kind of my rendering process for how I did the rendering. Cause I'm gonna be honest, I got better. But I mean, like, after working on the comic and like rendering stuff, like I have noticed that my art style has gotten better, like over time, because I'm basically drawing at least, you know, every day. So yeah. So there's a lot of good things that are coming out of that, from basically working on this, on the comic. I would not recommend, I would not recommend doing what I'm doing, by the way. This is the first ever comic that I've ever made, and it is a passion project comic. I would not recommend, because a lot of people that I've seen, they're like, don't make a comic, like a longer length comic. Like, make a little comic with a little story that's only like a few chapters long to get into the rhythm of how to create and write stories. And I'm just like, nope, jumping into it. But the reason being is because I have experience already with how to write stories. I have several years of experience with doing that. So because of that, I'm just like hopping right into it. Which is definitely, I would say, something I do not recommend for new people. For newer people, I would say like the best thing that you could do is, if you don't want to write with your own characters, just make a little cute like fan comic or whatever. Cause you know, just like a fan comic of whatever characters you like or whatever, and just like, I don't know, make them kiss. I don't know. That's what I would recommend. Also gets you used to like doing a format of a comic. I've done a comic like a few times, so, or at least like sketched out like little comics before, so I kind of have the understanding of how to like kind of draw it and organize it a little bit. But yeah, so that's great. But hold on. I'm like stretching everything out before I get into this, cause yeah. But I will say this much. Some people might be looking at how I'm gonna be drawing this art compared to how I render and draw for the comic. They're slightly different, and the only reason being is because that one I'm trying to be fast. Because I can't put in all the amount of great detail as I would with a normal art piece. So I'm just like putting down enough to where you know where the highlighting and shading is coming from. I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot of dynamic lighting, but there are some pictures in there that I have taken a lot of time to be able to do. So those are like very full illustrated art pieces that I kind of take a little bit of time to do. But for the most part, I will say, since making the prologue, I know that I have to, one, be faster at doing it, and two, also be faster at doing the rendering. So a lot of it is very splotchy and very messy with how, like, the rendering is, but I mean, like, it works with my painterly style. But yeah, so... But there is a little bit of difference that I noticed. It's not too much of a difference, because you can still tell, like, this is definitely mine. The other thing is, too, is, like, I would say that they're not my proudest work, but I know that I will get better, at making it, at like doing it. And the other thing is, I've noticed that a lot of times, most of the times what people do is, with comics in particular, is doing cell shading, because cell shading's faster. I basically just do cell shading, but just because of the brush that I use, it looks like it's smoothed out a little bit. And I do go in with like another brush and kind of smooth it out here and there. But other than that, I just, I really like it, and I really enjoy, like, how it came out. Because honestly, it's better than what I imagined it to be. I thought it was gonna look like absolute garbage. There are some face issues. I have noticed that. There are a little bit of face issues, with some of them. But I tried to go back in and fix as much as I could. But I think it's just how I draw faces, and I know I'll get better at it. And also the other thing is, like, rendering fixed a lot of it, so. I know I'm, like, pointing out some flaws things, but it's more of, like, I think it's okay to talk about it, because I know that's not gonna be perfect. And if anybody expects perfection from this comic, like, you're expecting a lot. You're expecting a lot, okay? I'm gonna just put it out here. I might have done art for a really long time, but that does not make me a big professional. Alright? So.
Welcome back, Pug.
Welcome back, Pug. Yeah. But anyways, some people might notice something, about character art right here, and that is, the hair color is not correct. Don't worry about it. That'll be fixed later. And you might be like, fixed? You should fix it now. No. There are reasons to why certain characters are going to look a little bit different than how we're going to see them. For example, Luthador and how he looks on his display card is not the Luthador that you're going to exactly see in the comic. Though I will probably change it to look like how he does in the comic, which is very similar. Like, his outfit's pretty similar. There are some characters that are gonna have different outfit changes, but there's other ones that I'm like, I don't want to change their outfit too much. I like it too much. But yeah. Yeah. Do. But we're gonna look currently in here about rendering processes. I've also tried to get like a little bit better with being able to create bodies. Oh. What? Hold on a minute. Oh, this is... I'm like, why isn't this showing up? It's because I'm doing the clothes instead of the body area, which is over here. But there are some things, I would say that for the most part, most of their outfits will reflect mainly just how they are and what they do. And I was kind of referencing a lot of, like, not Genshin in particular, but more of Genshin with how, like, Genshin Impact, with how the characters should reflect kind of what their job is. And not all the characters have that, I would say, but some of them do. And those are the ones that I'm mainly referencing. So, Art definitely has two main outfits, which would be mainly, I would say, this outfit, and then the casual outfit she wears once in a while. There is another outfit that is going to be worn in the comic, but that's only for a certain moment, which is actually that one, that fancy one, that's up there. She is going to be wearing that, eventually. It's just not now. I don't think the shoes, though. The shoes will probably be different. But there are, there's a lot of plans of, like, outfits. And I will say, like, for the most part, especially with comics and something with animation as well, like, unless you're in, like, a modern scene setting, you can change their outfits as much as you want. But for me personally, because they're on, like, a trip adventure kind of situation, they're kind of just going out with the clothes on their backs. So that's kind of what's happening with them in particular. And it's just kind of something that is just needing to happen. So I'm done. Or blah 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 blah. I don't know words anymore. But honestly, I just kind of I also just want to make it easier on me, and having them change into a bunch of outfits all the time is gonna be definitely incredibly difficult, as time progresses. And, I will say this much, I know that there are going to be certain characters I'm going to hate to draw. Art is probably the easiest alongside Luthador and Varel to draw. I would say Golas as well, but the two that are going to be the hardest is definitely Fira and Selvik. Selvik, because of his frickin' hair and the chair, because he has... Smash. Bet. No, joking. But, hold on, I'm just, like, trying to do this. But, there's gonna be some characters that are just gonna be tough to draw just because of what I have them set with. Selvik, in particular, his hair is just going to be ridiculous with how it is, but I'm going to try and do it to the best of my abilities. And that's what's important. Secondly, the chair is just going to be hard because he uses a mobility aid of this, like, chair that can do whatever. And in the card, when I'm doing the display card for him, which, by the way, all the display cards will be turned into merchandise items that you can buy. They're going to be like prints and stickers or magnets, and I also believe possibly shirts as well. I wouldn't say like mats or dust mats or anything like that, but there might be some other stuff that we might change into that. But that's what my plan is. Will it happen that way? Who knows? But yeah, that's always, there's always plans. There's plans upon plans of things. Hold on, I'm trying to remember what I was talking about. Jose, what was I talking about? I need help. My brain, no brainies. Oh, okay. No, I remember now. So I will say this much. Drawing chaos, for the prologue made me hate Chaos's design so much. I ended up, after a few times, I just hated drawing his design because of how complex he was. Chaos was too complex, apparently, but I'm like, but he's a god! He's supposed to be complex! I'm like, yeah, but did I have to go and make him that complex? Apparently so. And also I just realized in here that I forgot to draw a thing. I forgot to draw. Let me just do. There we go. I will say, what I have gotten better at, is, I don't know why I didn't realize this, but there's a lasso fill tool that I could have used this entire time to make the process faster. And I haven't used it. I've been using it now, and I'm like, oh my god, this makes everything so much faster. Because then instead of just drawing the little outline of the box and then filling it in, it makes it so that I just trace it and then it fills it for me, and I'm just like, I'm an idiot. I think what I did actually for this was just gonna do that. There you go. Oh, there go the ads. I need a hookup mix-it-up bot to be able to tell you guys when ads are going to be playing. And let's start doing this. I am trying to get— ow! Bish. I am trying to get better at drawing, I guess better rendered stuff. But I try my best with what I'm able to do. Actually, Jose, I'm surprised to see you up right now. I thought that you would be, resting or sleeping. But I'm surprised to see you here. It's always a joy when Jose actually comes in here at a more reasonable time, and you're just like, what? He's here? The mad lad himself? It's Jose? After last night at work, I'm not the... excuse me? What the frick happened at work? Excuse me, sir? That is like the most... Oh! Oh! I forgot about that! Oh my god, I forgot about that situation. I forgot about that! Holy shit! I'll talk about it really quickly, but I'll do it after everyone comes back for the ads, because this is a funny story. This is a really funny story. Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed the ads. I hope you didn't get any weird ones, but to those that are the real mad lads with the subs, they were able to hear this. I was in the break room with my back facing the door. I put a spoiler! That should have been enough to show you that it was supposed to be sus! Like... like, you should know that! I figured that you would understand that it was a sus thing. Okay, so to preface this, so yesterday or last night. So to preface this or last night, my mother went and had to go do a sleep study, but I was being a bitch and decided to stay up really late. And I was like, well, I want to work on an art piece. I want to work on some art. So the thing is, there is like a sus picture of my 2.0 that I am drawing. So if you guys are interested in that, then you should probably get my 2.0 revealed so that then I can show you it. Because honestly, I'm basically holding back.
The poor innocent Jose. Mother is so cruel.
Hey, I am not cruel. He liked it. So the thing is that I basically, what I ended up doing was, I ended up working on some stuff, but anyways, most of my 2.0, like, model, like, art that I'm making, I'm basically hiding it, and I'm not trying to post any of it until the 2.0 gets fully revealed, so that I could flood you all with just all the art that I've made of this model, because I love it so much. But anyways, there is a sus one that I'm working on, because I was just like, I kind of want to do this. And, it looks so good. Excuse me. You are not, you a good Christian boy? No, sir. I wish I could pull it up, but unfortunately, if I did, I would be banned immediately. Like, that's how sus it is, okay? I cannot work on it on stream. I was not leading you back down a path of sin. Come on. You good Christian boy, never have I seen you be a good Christian boy. I've seen your search history, Jose. I know you're not a good Christian boy.
Jose is the goodest Christian boy.
No, he's not. I've seen his search history. I know what his cookies look like. Both cookies. Stop throwing a gun at me, dude! But, so what I so basically last night, I decided to work on the, very sus, beautiful artwork picture, that very much makes me appreciate, Art's 2.0 body, you know? Very much appreciative of that. And, so what I did is I worked on it, and then I showed it to him, and I literally, what did I say? I need to remember what I said. Hopefully OBS doesn't crash. Okay, I need to remember what I said. What did I say? Oh, I said something fun for you to see at work. It's just an art piece. And then I gave him a smug look. And it has a spoiler on it and everything. And then he just said at like almost 10 o'clock at night. Because I post this up at like 9 o'clock. So an hour later, he's like, I'm in the break room with my back facing the door. I opened it as people came in. I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. It was your fault for sitting where you did. Like you should have known by the emote enough that it was gonna be sus. I put a spoiler on it, meaning like you had to click on it to open it up. Because I knew he'd be at work, so I was like, well, I don't want him to open it up and just immediately see that, you know? So if anything, it was your fault.
I blame mother.
Hey, don't blame me for anything. Jose, did you like the piece? Did you still like the art piece? That's the important thing. By the way, it is an art piece that I'm drawing between Jose and I's characters, so that's why I did show it to him. But let's just say I'm doing good with some wifely duties.
How dare mother gaslight Jose and expect him to be smart and competent? Just for that she owed him some IRL reference tonight to do a side-by-side comparison.
No! Nah, I'm too tired, man. I'm too tired most of the time to be able to do it. I'm too tired for that shit. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. What?
We will negotiate this later.
Oh my goodness. Anyways. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the comic and like the comic art. So, see how I'm spending so much time on this like one section? Yeah, that's not gonna happen much in the comic, because I have to be so much faster at being able to draw it. So I know there's probably some problems with certain art places, but I'm just like, you know what? It's small enough. You ain't gonna see it. If you don't see it, I don't care about it. But no joke. Taking my break. People were arriving and didn't expect so many to be late. Oh, okay. That makes a little bit more sense. It's like, you know, you didn't think anyone was gonna see it. And then you're just like, oh shit, why is everyone coming here? No, this is my wife. My wifey art. No one else can see my wife. And then oh my god, the HR rep walked past! Oh, bro. I'm so sorry. Bro, if you said the HR rep just had a conversation with me, I would be like, please show them the messages of me just saying, I'm so sorry. Salt, hello. You better be. Bro, I'm out here apparently on the fast track to how can I get Jose fired the quickest? Showing the messages wouldn't help. I mean, It would if you pulled me up in a call, you know? I mean, I'm sure it would have been fine. Sorry if you're coming in on a weird conversation, Mello, but we're I was working on a sus art pic of my 2.0 and I sent it to Jose and apparently he almost got in trouble. But hey, again, was it good though? That's the question. It's the entire question of like, is it good though? Well. Huh? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's a very confusing story. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about the comic instead. Yay! Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This entire stream is just like a PR for my promotional stuff for my comic. Honestly. But I will continuously say, if you like fantasy adventures that also have, like, dark stuff... Why? Why you bonky? Why you bonk me? Jeez. Look, I'm just doing good wifely duties here, man. That's all I'm doing. Why not? Oh my gosh. Alright. No, I'm using the wrong brush. Sometimes I do that. I'm like, oh, that's the wrong brush for this, isn't it? And I don't even realize that's the wrong brush, and then I realize it, and I'm like, oh shit, it's the wrong brush. It's the wrong brush. Because I'm like, why is nothing getting put down? Wait, also another fun. Oh no, here we go, another fun work story from Jose. Someone. Oh. Oh yeah. That I remember that story. That was yeah, sometimes you just got apparently you just gotta do it on company time sometimes, you know? I mean, you're getting paid, you might as well just, like, I don't know, I guess enjoy some stuff. It's fucking weird. But yeah. I think that'll do for right now. I got a work story. A union rep came in and told us his replacement that I... What? That's kind of like not nice, especially if you are doing stuff. Like, why come in and literally say like, oh yeah, this guy don't do shit, so like ignore him. Like, what the fuck, my dude? Like, that's just not nice, honestly. When you hit the bonus, so you gotta... What the fuck, Jose? I corrected that comment fast. Oh my gosh. Yeah. There we go. And now... Wait, what do you mean your work benefits are being reset? What? Why? That sounds like a bad thing. Do we want to do hair or body next? You know what? We'll do body. They're re-rolling us in benefits? Oh. Oh, I'm using thick blender again. Why do that? Why re-roll in new benefits like in the middle? Like, it's the middle of the year. Why do that? That sounds like a stupid idea. Something company going with another benefit provider. Ah, okay. Again, why in the middle of the year? Why not do that at, I don't know, the beginning of the year? That sounds like a better idea to me. It doesn't make sense to me when people do that. They're like, they do it in the middle of the year, and I'm just like, you could have done this at the beginning of the year. But instead, they're like, nah. We got this. We can do it in the middle. Because that's funner, apparently, to them. There we go. Turns out we can re-enroll into benefits after major life changes less events like marriage and baby. Ah, okay. That makes a little bit more sense. As someone with an active supervisor, he answers paperwork. Yeah, I can understand like paperwork and stuff like that, but it's like, you know, if you know that that's going to be happening, why not just do the paperwork, I don't know, earlier? You know? If you already have the plan to do that, it's just like, why not do it earlier? Like, you know? That's what I'm kind of trying to get at here. There we go. We waited for weeks for a dig permit just to concrete, like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds like a terrible thing. It's just like you wait so long for something and then you're just like, oh, no, never mind. Actually, talking about like contracts and stuff like that, there is something that was added to VGen currently, which was basically a way for people to, like, I guess have much more security in commissioning people, because even on VGen there were some people that were dealing with a problem of they would pay an artist and then would be ghosted and then never get the commission. So VGen now has like a thing where it's like, if you do not turn it in by this guaranteed delivery date, then we will refund like the thing for you. Or like, you know, they say like, oh, make sure like, you know, you get your refund money back by this time if you don't get the guaranteed delivery date by that time. And I'm just like, are people really not that professional? And there's like so many people in the comments being like, this is terrible for artists. And I'm just like, if you keep up with the people that, you know, if you keep up with the people that are commissioning you, meaning like you keep the tab, you know, you keep updating tabs on them of like what's going on and like how progress is going and all of that sort of stuff, or any like problems that you're currently going through, you know, yeah, exactly, they're being held to like professional standards and they're losing their mind. And like, you know, some commission people that are just like, yeah, this is pretty standard, like you should be probably doing this, are like, yeah, this isn't actually a big deal. And even when I saw it and like looked at it, I was like, yeah, I do that. Like everything that they're talking about is what I already do. And the other thing is, and this is something that I think a lot of people should probably adopt, you can have the people like, you know, in a wait list, like sitting there not asking for any payment until you can actually start work on the project. And that's what I do. So like, I only ask you for payment when I can actually start working on the project. So it does take me a bit because I'm basically doing one by one. But it actually helps me in the end. Because it holds me accountable to be faster. Still giving you the same quality though. That's the key thing. Still giving you the same quality. And if I need to, I will take on, like, I can take on 2 commissions at once. I have done that before. But it's just like, helps me to focus better on like who needs to get done first, right? So that's basically it. Sounds like some of my new coworkers, I know. Yeah, and I will say, like, there are some people like actually voicing out some opinions of like, well, what if we, you know, what if this like hurts people that are like disabled and can't work on it all the time? And they literally said like, as long as there's like a record of you keeping up to date and tabs on your commission, like with the person that's commissioned you, you're not gonna be at fault and you can like reverse things. So the thing is, you'll get a penalty on your account if you do not like deliver your commission at the time that you said that you were gonna guarantee deliver it, and they'll put like a thing on your account. And I'm just like, and they're like, yeah, and this will actually affect you, and you won't like this would actually start like affecting you being able to like get commissions and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of like a little not nice, but I can also understand that. It's more of to target people that just like keep ghosting you. So it's to hold you up to the idea of like, hey, you should be talking and communicating. Because the point is, you should be communicating with the people that commissioned you. Because like at the end of the day, they are paying you to do a job, and your job is to literally do this artwork for them. But that's not just it. You also have to be communicating. Did you know your promises? Oh my gosh, yeah. And the other thing is too, is I will say this much. I put my guaranteed delivery date longer than I think it would actually be delivered upon. Meaning like, I put my due date actually pretty far out there in case of situations. That doesn't mean that it will be guaranteed delivered by that time. It'll probably be delivered earlier than that. But it's just a thing for me to say like, hey, you have to get this done by this time. Like, you have to have it finished by then. Or you can get it done earlier than that. Like right now I'm working on, I just finished a scuff model for a friend, for somebody. I'm working on another one. And then I'm going to work on your stuff, Pug, because I wanted to like get some of the models out of the way because people have been waiting. And then I have one more model commission to do for somebody. Honestly, my funny scuff models are the ones currently that are just like bringing in the funny money, the funny good money. And honestly, I like making those models a lot better than making like a full body model, because those things take months, like really months with how I need to go about doing it. So and honestly, I want to focus on other things. So that's why I kind of opened those. Yeah, that's why I kind of was like, what I'm like thinking of doing is just like doing the other stuff and then getting to you when you can. That's actually how I set it up, because I was like, I know I can't do your next art yet because I know that you have to, you probably need to save up for more money in order to get some more art. So that's why I was like, let me organize it so that like Pug is like near the bottom for the next one. If I finish the stuff, I'm gonna hit you up once I'm done with this commission, because it could take me a few weeks. So once I'm done with this one, I'll ask you, and if you can't, I will just move up somebody else in it. Just because that's what you should do, you know? Maybe next month? Okay, yeah. I'll just save it for next month then. So let me just like move you to the bottom then. Here. I can move you over in the little, I have like a little like organization thing here. So I'll just put you under this. So that then I have it more organized. But yeah. I'm gonna be honest, nowadays I'm like getting more consistent commissions. Like I at least get like 1 or 2 a month, which honestly doesn't seem like a whole lot, but that's actually pretty consistent. Considering that every time it seems now that I open up my Scuff Funny models, I always get a new person interested. Cause I hope the good reviews help. The good reviews do help, but I'm also trying to, you know, for the most part, I put a lot of illustration work out there. But it seems like for the most part, the thing that I get commissioned for the most is actually the funny models and like the funnier stuff. So yeah. I'm debating. I would say eat and then pass out from a food coma. That sounds like the best thing to me. Actually, when it comes to sleeping, I am pretty tired. I did not sleep well last night. Oh my goodness, the yippies. See, that's why I'm the wife. I'm the one that decides for you what you need to do. Wife's so smart. See, exactly. Exactly. See? Just gotta do what you need to do, you know? But yeah. Actually, I kind of want to work on doing a Scuff model as well for myself. Later. Bye, Pug. Have a good day. I think I need to go back in here and just do something really quick. What? Oh, I'm doing this on the wrong layer, that's why. Why is that being so weird? What is happening here? Oh, it's because it's that. It's the hair sketch, and I'm just like, what is happening here? No, it's fine. I'm just an idiot. That happens a lot. But yeah. But I will say I I am very, very much excited. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know what I was gonna draw today, but then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to start working on actually redoing the cover art. Not to say, again, that the cover art was great, but I think it was, like, a good direction, but I don't think it really kind of captured how I wanted to really make the story. I feel like the newer one definitely reiterates it, like, some more about how I kind of want to really make the story be. Like, you know, you can tell with, like, the electricity here, like, there's some sort of magic going on. But then it's kind of, like, plain and very bleak-ish in a way. And I think that that kind of also highlights in the situation of just, like, kind of the bleakness of the world in itself, because it is a very bleak-ish sometimes story if you think about it, because basically for most of the story it is a fight of survival. It is a war of survival. So it's not just like, oh, these two kingdoms hate each other and they're fighting for territory or land. No, it is a war of survival. That'll be talked about more in the story. Like, it is a big thing that is, like, even though that's going on in the background, there is always this over-looming threat. It is a very much prey versus predator sort of war. And this will be discussed, like, further in the story itself, and furthermore through, like, the situations that occur. But what you kind of need to know a little bit of background, it'll be, of course, like, discussed as well. I'll try and, like, make it very well known within the first chapter. But basically, Art is a Telvin. Art is a Telvin. And then the creatures that they are going against are called the Blightons. And the Blightons eat Telvins. How they do eat them is not exactly how you would think it is. It's not very gore or grotesque. Some Blightons do actually physically consume Telvins, but most of the time they are consuming, like, their essence, like their very soul. If you've seen Dark Crystal, that's kind of what the inspiration is for, like, how for the Blightons in particular, is that they are just basically consuming this, like, magic essence from Telvins. And it's actually how they survive. And the funny thing is that their bodies, they do still need to consume normal, like, meat and, like, food and water. They, like, need to consume normal things, but in order to, you know, but they just have this insatiable hunger for eating chaos, or other people's chaos, which is their essence. Chaos is the basis of all magic, and then how people wield it is their magic. So that's, like, so they basically, how it works in the magic system, and how also I've thought of it biologically, is that basically Telvins are built to take in the natural chaos from their world and then reshape that chaos into something else, like into an actual thing. So some people can, like, manipulate the wind, like they can actually, like, bend wind currents around them. So that's a manipulation. So that's called, like, more of manipulation of chaos than it is actually them producing it. Some people can produce it, some people can manipulate it. So there's manipulations of wind or manipulating water, but there are some people that can actually, like, create things. So, like, creation of lightning or creation of fire. Like, those two are probably the biggest ones, to be actually able to create and produce something. So yeah. And some of Goalless people, the Goliaths, some of them can sometimes produce gemstones, but they're like very tiny. They're not huge. It's very rare to be able to make a huge one, so you can only sometimes make a little small one. So they can actually be able to like produce gems. So it just like kind of depends on how it's like done, and how like their bodies and how everything really works. Now the most important thing is that a person only has like one. You either have the manipulation or a production. You only have that one skill or ability. So you're not supposed to have multiple. There are some that can have multiple, where some people can manipulate fire and also produce fire. That's what Fira has. So she has like both. So you can have like both techniques or abilities. It's just like you can't like, you know, do if you can make electricity and lightning, like Art can make lightning, that's what she can do. She cannot manipulate wind. So, like, you know, she can't manipulate something outside of her being able to manipulate lightning. There are certain people that can, like, only, that can wield water, but they can't turn water into ice. You know, they can't heat it up to turn it into steam. They can't do that. They can only do what is set for them. And that's kind of how, I wouldn't say that it's a, so there's a difference between like hard magic system and a soft magic system. Soft magic system is more of like a little loosey-goosey with how it can be. I would say like it's like a medium magic system. It's like there are rules to it. There's like no's and there's like some no's and some yeses. But for the most part, it's more of like a person can only do this thing and that's what they can do. I would say like the best way to kind of like say it is like, if you guys have ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's kind of like that. You know, you can't go outside of your magic. The other thing is that each like ethnic group, so like Art is a Kiesh. Kiesh are only manipulate anything to do with the sky or wind. So wind, production of clouds to create rain, though that's a rare thing that most people can't do. Lightning, and I think that's really about it. Some people can create snow and ice as well, or sleet, hail, like, you know, things to do with weather, and also, of course, you know, things to do with just the sky. So some people can actually like communicate with birds, you know? So it's anything to do with relevance to the sky. They can be able to control and manipulate it. Or produce it. And then like, and then we're gonna look at like, Varel. And Varel and their, like, people... Varel is, like, this, like, the furry creature. So Varel is interesting with how their abilities work. Because their abilities are probably one of the most interesting because they can actually transform. So some of them can actually transform into what they call greater beasts. Which is basically... werewolves exist, kind of, but it's not like a curse or anything, and this is like normal. So some of them can transform into like a more bigger animalistic creature, or some of them can speak with animals is like a big thing. A lot of them can do that, I would say like that's just like a given for the most part because they are basically animals, so they can understand animals. So it's not like really an ability, it's just kind of they already do that. But they could do like manipulation of plants and trees, and all of that sort of stuff. They cannot like control animals. That's one thing. Like, they can't control animals. They can just like talk to them. So that's like a difference between how they are and how they interact. The other thing is too is like and then you go into like Meridian, which is like all these merfolk basically, and of course they have a lot of manipulation over that of water, so a lot of them can like speak, you know, some speak with fish, some have like siren songs, so they're able to like use their voice. Some of them can like push and pull currents. Some can also like manipulate that of sea life, or like mostly like mostly like coral and stuff like that. Manipulation of coral, which if you can manipulate plants on the land, you cannot manipulate plants in the water. If you can manipulate plants in the water, you cannot manipulate plants on land. So there's that. But you might be like, why are you telling me all this? Well, the thing is that the main thing is that they cannot go outside of whatever is dictated for them. So art can only produce lightning, which is pretty cool on its own. However, she has no real control over it. She can create it, but she cannot direct it. So she tries to sort of direct it. It's kind of very unpredictable with how you can direct it. And the thing is like, both of her parents are not people that can control lightning, so they kind of don't really know how to teach her very well, but they do try their best. So she can be able to somewhat direct it, but she does get to learn it more. You know, she's not as bad as she was when like her powers first came in, so she's a little bit better at being able to direct it, but it's more of, she just says like, once I fully release it, there's no telling where that lightning is going to go. I just know a direction I want it to go and just hope it lands, which is not really the best thing. And some people have like a good control of directing their lightning and some people don't. And Art unfortunately falls into the latter. She does not. She does eventually gain the ability to, but that is discussed later on through the comic. But other than that, she's just a badass that I want. Honestly, how I create myself and how character art is very different. She is way cooler. She is who I wish I could be, but I'm giving her also all of my trauma. It's just like, you know, this is like a path I could have gone down and been more badassy, and honestly there are some things in this where I am gonna be a little bit badassy in here, but yeah. Honestly, character art I feel like is who we all attest to be. But she does deal with struggles. She has her own struggles that is going to be covered with as well. There is a lot of things, because when you read the prologue, you'll see the ending page, and you'll just be like, oh my god, so cute. But there is a lot of things that happen between the first like prologue and especially the end of the prologue with that one page. There's a lot that happens in between there. It will be discussed and touched upon because like there is other things outside, like, you know, before we get started with the story, there is things that happen before the story, and then once we finish the story, there are things that are happening after it. And that's like one thing when you're writing a story is like your characters just don't spawn from nowhere. They have to have come from somewhere. So where did they come from? I guess the best example is like, when we start with Star Wars, like, we see like Luke isn't just there. It also explains through talking and going through the story that eventually we know of Luke's past and where he eventually came from, is to give us like, hey, there's this whole other story here. And then, you know, they went on and made like the prequel episodes, literally showing all of what had led up to Luke's creation. So like, honestly, I think that that's pretty cool. Like, you know, literally that there's other stories upon stories before the story that you're actually telling. Because it makes it feel more real, in a sense. Because, like, you know, you don't just spawn, your characters don't spawn from nowhere. Your characters have to come from somewhere. And this is just great advice in general, when writing a story. Now, the thing is, if you're writing, like, a funny, goofy comic, like, you know, like, if I'm writing, like, a little George comic of, like, George the Frog doing funny, stupid things and just being a little episodic menace, like, at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. It's supposed to be funny, it's not supposed to be taken seriously. But, like, if you're writing about something, like, that's serious, like, you know, you want people to take you seriously, make the characters feel like they're actual people, or, like, you know, believable enough to where you can just go, okay, I feel like I could see these people in everyday life. And even still, like, most of what these people are going through, and their experiences, probably a lot of people can understand it. But most of the story is about definitely just, like, survival. It is a fight of survival. And just kind of, like, the more that I started thinking about it, I guess I ended up going darker than I wished I wanted. Because honestly, this is gonna be more of, like, typical, fun, upbeat anime-ish, and now it's just kind of slowly devolving into kind of, like, going down a little bit of a darker path, but it's a good thing, because I am an adult. I do want this to be a more adult-er, comic, that people can appreciate. Does that mean that there will be 18 plus scenes? Yes, but I would say that they would be suggested. I'm not gonna outright draw them in the actual comic. Those may be behind a paywall if I want to do that. Just because, I don't know, I don't want you guys to just see it. But also, like, you know, I could just draw it in other ways and post it up elsewhere. And also the other thing is, like, the romance and the, you know, even though they're all adults, this is all an adult cast, even though that they are adults and they do have romance and there's relationships and stuff like that, it's like, that's not the main point of the story at the end of the day. The main point is not the romance. It is a fantasy action adventure. That's what it mainly is. I would say, is it a little bit of a drama? I wouldn't say it's that dramatic, but it definitely goes along the lines of being that kind of thing. But yeah. Honestly, I've just had fun in making what I want to make. And that's just, like, the most important thing of all. It's just, like, at the end of the day, I'm having fun in creating something that I am going to enjoy a lot. Because even if nobody reads it, I'm just gonna be happy that I made it. And that's just, like, the most important thing. And at the end of the day, as long as I'm putting in the passion that I want to put into it, because, like, I think, like, one comic that I really, really love is Covenant, which is on Webtoon, which you can read. However, I would highly recommend, because it's now actually available in bookstores, I would highly recommend that you go and buy it. Like, an actual physical copy of it. I will say this much, I'm going to be going on a trip soon, and eventually, like, I'll be going to a Barnes & Noble, and I will be picking that up and taking a picture of it and saying, I got the goods. I got the goods. So that's like the important thing. But I actually love that comic a lot. And I will say, I think it kind of like led me down a path of asking myself of what I wanted to accomplish within my own comic. And definitely I think helped in changing it to be a more, because I'm just like, yeah, you know what, I should be a little bit more professional with this. I did apparently find out that I think that the webcomic author of that comic, I'm older than them. I do believe I'm older than them, which is like, I'm just like, God damn it, why is everyone older? Why am I older than everybody? I recently found out that I'm older than Kuro, and I'm like, what the frick? How am I older than Kuro? I don't know how that happened, but apparently I am. I'm like 2 years older than him, and I'm like, what the shit? I was actually gonna write art to be like 25, which is like around my age. But the reason I didn't and I'm putting her down is because there is some 2-year time skip, so at the end of it, she would be 25. I think the oldest character that we have is Golith at about like 40. Like Golith is the oldest. I think like Selvik isn't 30 yet. So a lot of the characters are kind of on the more of like in the age range between like their 20s to like 40s is like about the age range of most of these characters. And I will say this much, if my stuff ever becomes popular enough to where I get hit up to make an animated series or like, I would say this much, if I ever was going to produce this to ever be like in a professional media setting, I personally think that the only thing that this could be done really well in, it would not be good to make this a live action. Like, at all. The reason being is because of how some things I want to draw would not be well translated into doing, like, into being live action. Like, I don't think that that would be passable. The other thing is like, I don't think that you could fully capture a lot of maybe how the magic and everything would be, or like look really. I think that an animated series would be really cool, but I digress. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen at all. I would love it to, though. But that's like a future idea that who knows if that would ever happen kind of situation. It's just more of like, it'd be cool to talk about, you know, that kind of stuff. But that's just like a cool idea to like kind of think about a little bit. It's just like, you know, what would happen if this did become popular, you know? I will say, you know, if it does become popular enough to where, like, I could actually create a actual physical... Bro, if I make a physical copy of this comic, I'm gonna cry. I would cry so hard. Because then that's like, I know I've made it, you know? And I'm gonna be honest, I'm just, like, fervently content with it being only a webcomic, but if it comes out that I could actually make a physical copy for it, like, I would still be, of course, posting the new chapters free and available for everybody, because I always want to do that, but then it's like, not only could you get, like, the free and available, like, pictures and all of that, but you could actually, like, you know, get an actual physical copy of it that I could sign and stuff like that. Like, imagine me just like going to like book signings and actually signing these books and like seeing people. Like, that's something that is definitely like, I guess every author would like really like to do. But what I might do is like, if I do go to conventions and stuff like that, what I might do is actually buy like, not stickers, but maybe like buy some prints and sign them and then I'll just like, you know, like little prints, and then I'll hand them out like for free of the characters. So like you could either choose to have like get like a little sticker of art, or you could have like a little card of all the characters from the comic. But that's like if I would get like a booth there to basically sell like some art stuff, you know, some art prints and stuff. That would be actually kind of cool too. Helps promote it, and also just like would be cool. And the reason that I say that is because actually the webtoon artist for Covenant did that. And I did get a picture, and I said, hey, can you ask them to sign it? They only, I guess, had a black Sharpie, and it was like on a black background, so it's really hard to see the signature. And if I ever see them again, I'm going to be like, hey, can you re-sign this? Because you signed it in black. And it's just like, I wish that you had another one, or another color. But at least I can say that I have a signed artwork. Because I'm going to be honest, I've started doing that more. Where it's just like, I ask the author to sign it. So I can have like a signature of their artwork. To just be like, I don't know. I think it's cooler. Of course, I sign my artwork digitally. But then like, you know, getting an actual signature of me actually writing on it would be cool as well. You know? I think that people might like that. But, man, I would 100%, by the way, make this into a print. I'm gonna be honest. This just looks way too cool. Honestly, it's like, you know, it's like, it's the whole entire idea of, you know, the VTuber, it's like VTuber lore versus like how they act, and I'm just like me, my little gremlin self as I am, and then like my lore, and I just pull out this, and it's just like, god damn, hello mother. I mean, that's just kind of what happens in the end, isn't it? Just like, that's just kind of how most people are probably going to take this as well. Because honestly, I'm not surprised that some people might just see this and just be like, excuse me, who knew that art could look so good? Well, there are some people that have seen my 2.0, and what that entails with it, which model reveal is still happening now, and eventually we'll be able to— oh, I did that wrong. But if you want to see a lot of the other art that I've been working on for that particular that new version, well, you're gonna have to unlock the 2.0. I think we're like halfway to the second unlock. And I'm gonna be honest, if we haven't unlocked it in a month, I'm just gonna reveal it. I'm just gonna fully reveal it for you guys. I do have it pinned to X, but I need to, like, I guess move other people over to do it. Because I wouldn't like to keep it on for an entire month, because I still want to post up stuff about the comic as well. I did not plan this well. Let's just say that much, okay? I did not plan this shit well. Alright, I'm terrible at planning shit. Oh, someone was like saying like, you need like a social media account or like calendar. So like when you know when you're getting like stuff done and when you're posting things up. And I'm like, I do have that. And I still don't follow it. So, I'm just like, yeah, about that, and I don't follow that very much. I should, but I don't. Because I'm an idiot. Well, it's not that I'm an idiot, it's just like, sometimes I get sidetracked with doing other stuff. I've been talking so much that my voice is starting to go. And I'm trying to drink my water and everything. I think I ran out of water. Well, I didn't have much water to begin with either. And also, I'm just, like, really tired, honestly. That is a genuine yawn. I am very much tired. I did not sleep well last. Well, I didn't go to bed until like 1 a.m. So there's a lot of stuff. But I just want to at least like finish this promotional art, because then I can have it up and then literally like say when it's gonna be like done and just have an announcement up for it. But I will say this much. I just hope, for the most part, that I'm able to get... I'm getting stuff together for, like, the... for everything. But at the same time, it's like, I really want my 2.0 to be debuted so that I can focus on trying to actually promote more of the comic again. Because that's what I want to do. And I don't know. Because that's the thing. It's like, and part of me is thinking of like, should I just like have lowered the counter or whatever? And I already put it like pretty low with how it was. And I'm surprised that it hasn't been like unlocked yet. But honestly, I'm not like a big VTuber, and not a whole lot of people know about me, so I'm not really surprised that like anybody is interested. And I will say the last time that I did a reveal, like it barely got unlocked, and I just released it because like it was like, I think by that time, well, one, I was kind of impatient. This time I'm trying to be a little bit more patient with it. But we will see. I'll tell you this much. My profile picture on Twitter is basically an up close thing of my model, of the model. Actually, I'm kind of like wondering on something, and what I might test really quickly is basically do a thing saying like, oh, we unlocked this, but we're halfway to the next thing. Let's see if we can get it. And basically put like in the retweet to see if people see that unlock, then go down to the next one and start liking that. Because like I feel like that's what needs to happen. It's like I'm not really pushing it a whole lot. But then the other thing is like, I don't want to be like in your face all the time about about it, because like I have other things to like be doing, which, like, you know, the comic is definitely one. Yeah. Anyways. So one thing, so I'm gonna talk about like character design really quickly. So a lot of people might be looking at character art and then looking at me and be like, hey, these are two different outfits. Or also you might be noticing, hey, wait a minute, why is your hair not tied? Is your gem here? There is no gem here. There's no necklace. I don't have a necklace yet. And I don't have my hair tied. I don't have my ear cuffs that I have on here yet. I don't have that stuff yet. And I say yet. It'll come in, because these are all like small like gifts and stuff. So they're more important later on to the story. Because I know everything that's about them. And I've talked about a little bit with it before about like the meanings behind all of the stuff. Behind the hair ties, behind all the great stuff. Lore! Yes, I'm making some lore. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. I'm currently working on some promotional art for a comic that is going to be about my lore. So it's, because I don't have money. I don't have money to make an animation, and I don't got time for that, so instead I'm making, instead I am making a full-on comic for it instead. That is coming in later June. Oh, saving. Art goes hard. Thanks. Thank you. My name is also Art. So sure. And yes, I do go hard. I go hard on my art. No shame in comic. That's really rad too. Wanted to do the same for a while. Yeah, I have noticed a lot of other artists, because there's a lot of artists within the VTubing community. A lot of them that I've talked to has actually said that they wanted to do a comic. And they're just like, I think a lot of them are kind of like nervous to see what would happen. And I can understand that, because even I have those fears and insecurities with it. But you know, I really like, it's a 2-year, this has been like a 2-year passion project that I've kind of worked on. Honestly, it went from being a lore comic-ish to more of an actual story. So like, yeah, it's lore, but even if I just stopped being a VTuber, like, it's still a good story. And at the end of the day, that's all I care about. Is like, it went from being lore to more of an actual very interesting story. So, and that's what I like. And I had to build an entire website. I had to rebuild my website because I was just like, I kind of want to put it on my website, but I kind of like left my website to the wayside. That's the progress of refining and reworking or writing. Yeah. But I like how it's like become something more than just like, oh yeah, this is my lore comic. Yeah. Also, by the way, here's the name of the comic. It's The Art of Chaos, because my name's Art, and the chaos part is, we've always like joked a lot in here that I'm very chaotic. So we've kind of, I will say this much. Doing streaming and a lot of like chat and everything has actually helped a lot into refining this, surprisingly. So actually, the community at large, without realizing it, actually helped really improve of what I wanted to create, which I think is good. And I think that at the end of the day, that's, you know, at the end of the day, I'm making the story because I want to, and also kind of as a little thing for everybody here as well. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you guys keep coming in here and supporting me with everything, and that just makes me want to make it more. And there's even been like people outside of the community that have also began to become excited because I'm trying to post about it more. Am I really good at it? No, because I have to do all of the promotional stuff myself. But hey, you know, I be out here trying to put in the work, and that's what's important. Even like streaming and doing all of this stuff to also promote it is just also very helpful as well. But I'm just very happy to finally be completing it. Because after 2 years, you're just like, I want it to be released. I've been sitting with these characters for so much. It's just like, I know them so much. And now it's just like, they must live their story. Felt. Yeah. It's like, we gotta go out here and just like, really just to put it out there. So many cares sitting in folders. Yeah. Well, for the most part, I will say I kind of began drawing like one. There's one character in particular that I loved drawing, and I kind of got back into drawing him a lot more. I would say the other characters I haven't had very much like. Funny enough, I haven't really been drawing most of the other characters very much, which is probably not a good thing. But like, I think it's just like because I like these two characters the most because they're like kind of the more main-ish characters that we're dealing with. So of course there's me art. Well, there's character art technically. But then there's also the other one, which is Luthador. And he's just he's he's like my affectionate bastard. You know, He's annoying, but I love him. He's just... But, also the other thing is, like, there's, he has, the relationship that I have built for him and another character is just so wholesome that you just kind of want to, it just feels like a nice warm cup of hot cocoa. Like, that's how the relationship is, and it's just it's so cozy. So I kind of went on like a little bit of spiral in drawing those two for a while, and I was just like, I am shoving this down your guys' throat. And I think after a while people stopped wanting to see him on Twitter and stuff because I just drew so much of it. Oh my gosh. But I love this too. Freaking love Luthador. So it's like an uplifting sort of slice of life, no. It's more of their story in a way. Their relationship is like just really great. The story in itself is a fantasy action adventure that has definitely some darker themes because there is a whole entire war going on, and the whole entire war is not about territory or control or fighting. It is a fight for survival. It is just a whole entire war built on survival. There is a war between Telvins, which that is what art is, and Blightons, which are these creatures, beings, that basically eat the essence of Telvins. If you've ever seen Dark Crystal with kind of how the essence taking is, that's kind of the inspiration for it. So it's also a little bit like vampiric in a way, but instead of like sucking your blood and killing you, they just devour your soul. So yeah. And that's kind of how it is. So it's a fight for survival and how to end this war and either rid the world of these or find different things. And there's a lot of revelations and things that do come out about it. So yeah. I like gritty sort of stuff. It was gonna be a little bit of more of like, I guess it was always gonna be dark, but it was gonna be lighter than what I was going with. But I just was like, you know what? I can go dark with it. So yeah. But yes, it is a little bit gritty, and dark here and there. And just like always, I guess, something looming over. But I will say there's a lot of revelations that happen, as well, with just like how the world, like a lot of questioning of what the world really is, and how the world like kind of came into being, and a lot of that. There's also gods and magic, that the characters do interact with. So that's always fun. I will say a lot of people assume like, oh, because there's gonna be gods involved, there might be a lot of Deus Ex Machinas kind of happening, which is like, you know, gods come in and like fix things. No, they just kind of are there. They're just there. They're like, hey, this is a mortal affair. We're just chilling here, kind of. We don't do anything. But yeah, actually there are some, I need to draw some of them, maybe for another stream, because I was like planning on that, drawing it for another stream. But yeah. I will say the first, so it's going to be releasing June 21st, but unfortunately I don't think I'll be able to release the first chapter, but the prologue in itself is finished, and the prologue has enough there, I feel, for people to kind of like get some understanding of possibly what could be set up for the future. I definitely want to write more magic fantasy stuff like that. Yeah, I think writing a lot of darker, or like, you know, fantasy that has... So the thing is, it's a fantasy that has darker themes. It's not, I would argue, a dark fantasy. If people label it as a dark fantasy, I guess. It just has some themes of being a little bit darker. Because yes, at the end of the day, the war is all about a fighting for survival. That's like the main thing. But that isn't like the story or like the what I'm trying to write, you know? Allowing magic and gods. My main writing sticks to rules of our world. Yes. I have world built a little too close to the sun, with just how I have have done a lot of world building. And I think the thing is why I'm able to world build it really well is I took anthropology classes that kind of tell you like the basic of kind of like how humans build communities and societies, and just like, you know, going from like, this is kind of like everything that we've observed and like how all of these bricks kind of fit together and create this massive like, you know, puzzle piece of a community, right? And so honestly that has kind of helped me with how to understand like world building a lot, and also to just make the characters feel like they're in an actual world that's beyond their own. And you know, and this is taking place on a different world. This isn't taking place on Earth, and it's kind of like verified that it's not. And even in the prologue, it's very verified that this is not supposed to be Earth. And they even call it a different planet. It is canonically a different planet. Now, technically, I will say this much. Technically, Earth does exist. Within it. It's just like, you know, but everything's like so focused on what's happening here that, you know, they kind of don't really know about other planets completely. They just know that there are possibly other places on their own planet, but they don't really delve into it much because, you know, their own planet is so great and so nice, and, you know, we're dealing with other things here. We can't just like be going off somewhere else. Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the little storms, and I hope that you enjoy the chaos. Yes, that is what I say every time that somebody follows, because it gets very chaotic here. And that's actually the reason that I named the comic the way that I did. But also, it does have a lot of meaning to it as well. So actually, I can thank chat for actually helping me with the name. They did not decide on the name. I decided on the name. It was just more of like, it helped my decision. We all need chaos to balance out the world. Yeah. You actually hit that. Yeah. Yeah, we do. Oh. I think you'll like the chat. Actually, you know what? Let me put this back out here again. I need to make a command for it. But here. I need to make a command for this. I'm gonna be hosting it on my website, but right now all I can do is literally just copy and paste into here. But you can check out other art and stuff like that that's going on up there. Eventually I need to put an actual like little command so I can literally put it out there. But yeah, that's where, so, you know, if you're ever interested later down the line, I'm a big nerd and love Wizard 1. The main things of the entire story is keeping the right amounts of chaos and purity. Yeah. We actually have, we have two, so this isn't spoiler, because this is, I've already talked about it a lot, so it's, like, already out there and being known. The two primordial gods of the entirety of it. Oh, there he is. That's Chaos. That's Chaos up there in the corner right now. And then I think next is going to show his brother Order. So that's Chaos and Order. Chaos is the creator and the destroyer, and Order is the architect of all. So they're the ones that created rules and laws and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, they're the two primordial. And they are brothers. They are, yeah, not together. I mean, I hope that I put enough out there to where people don't start shipping them, because I'm just gonna be like, guys, they're brothers. Forbidden ship. Yes, they are the forbidden ship. They are quite the forbidden ship. Yeah. There are some, you know, characters that I do ship myself. So there are gonna, because there is some romance. There is some romance. You can't stop anyone. I mean, yeah, no, I can't stop them. I can't. I really can't, but, I can make you feel uncomfortable about it. I could question your life choices. That's what I can do. That's the main thing I could probably do. I have the power to make people feel uncomfortable. Honestly, I don't care about people shipping certain characters together. I know at the end of the day, when I put it out there, there's nothing stopping people. But there are certain characters that's just like, don't force, you know, you can ship them and do all your headcanon stuff. I know as a person that's part of headcanons and has been in the shipping sphere. So yeah. If people ship the characters, I don't want shipped. I'll kill them. Oh no. No, I wouldn't do that. No. I don't care at the end of the day, because honestly, it's just like, these are the characters that end up together. This is how the story is. Yeah. I will say this much. There are two really big forbidden ships in this that I know that people might end up shipping together. And the thing is, I don't know which one is worse. Because one is between the brothers, Order and Chaos, and another one is between, like, an aunt and their nephew. So, But they kind of don't know that they're related. But don't worry, they don't end up together. They have other relationships. It's more of just, like, I feel that people might ship them together and just be like, but don't worry, I'll ruin their entire thing by literally dropping that bomb. You know, I'm my own worst enemy because I made up most of the ships that are beyond stupid or cursed. I mean, there's an enemies to lovers ship in here that also, I will say, has a lot of other things. There's technically two enemies to lovers ships actually in this. But I would say one is more interesting. I think a little bit more complex because I think people might believe that there might be a power imbalance as well. But that's like something discussed like later on. That'll make more sense later on. I need to do this. But yeah, I'm just excited to just really just be doing this. Just like, just like talking to friends, being like, oh yeah, A and B are great lovers, but both weren't even alive at the same time ever. Just to confuse them and throw them off the truth. Okay, how did you hit one of those on the... Okay, shush, are you reading my diary at this point? Well, technically, one was, like, trapped for 6,000 years, and the other one wasn't, like, born until later on, and the other one is, technically, well, there's other situations with that one. But... At the end of the day, I create what I wish to create. That's why my name is Art Creates. Actually, my boyfriend was saying, like, hey, maybe you should change your name, like, for, like, a rebranding, because you're doing your 2.0 model. Like, you should, like, just, like, say that you're Art of Chaos. And I was like, no, we don't want to do that. Yeah, alongside this comic, I'm also releasing my 2.0 for my model, and I'm just like, ew, this is probably not a good idea to align both of these together, because it's like, I want to promote the comic, but I need the model to be debuted, and then I can release a bunch of, like, cool, awesome art of that of that 2.0 model that I've been hiding in the abyss. That's been pushed away, hidden into the abyss, because I can't release it because the 2.0 isn't out yet. Oh, yeah. And then it's like, oh, and then I want to debut, and then I want to start, making more posts about my my comic as well. I need to make some memes. I gotta make some memes of my comic. I should do that. Because with anything, definitely memes will always do that. Yeah, you gotta find a balance, me too. I wanted to rename myself to something relevant to my comic, but sometimes a separation is good. Yeah, because I was basically saying, like, well, Art Creates is the person, Art of Chaos is the comic, and he was like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. But both of them start with, like, art, right? And that's, like, what's important. Because at the end of the day, like, the main character of this is Art, that is the main character of the story and the tale. But... and... I will say this much, my new logo is, like, very similar to this one. It's very similar to this one, but it's, like, it's different in its own way. So, there is that. So, there are differences. But yeah. A lot of people are probably going to be wondering, like, besides it being, like, a fantasy adventure, like, what the synopsis is. And the best synopsis that I literally have for this, and it's so great because it makes me laugh and giggle every time that I think about it, because it sounds like a meme, okay? It just sounds like a meme. The entire story is... Mortal is a reincarnation of a god. Fights God, becomes God. It sounds like a fucking meme. But it makes no sense. It's such a story thing that's just like now you gotta read it, because, like, that sounds so stupid. And then it's like, how the hell is, what do you mean? I wish I could come up with a brief synopsis of my story. honestly, when you, like, sit with it for a while, you start coming up with it. And I was just like, I need a shorter way to, like, figure out, like, what my lore is. And I just kept thinking about it more. And then I kept thinking about it even more. And then I just realized, mortal fights God and becomes God. It's been 10 years. Hey, you know what? Some people, it's been years. Other people, like me, it's been like 2 years. Some people, they, like, think it up in a month and, like, start writing it, right? So, like, it just depends at the end of the day, like, what you're, like, how everything is. And my brain, no workies. Sometimes that brain just don't work very well. But yeah. Alright, we'll go with this. I remember telling my friend that the entire story is just a bad dream, and she was upset for a while. Lol. I think the reason of it just being a bad dream is I'm gonna be blatantly honest out here. If you're writing a story and it ends with "it was all a dream," that is the worst ending you can ever give a story. Like, out of all, by the way, there was an actual study done. Yeah. Yeah, the reason that a bad dream is, like, kind of the dumbest possible trope is just because, that's why I said it's so stupid. Ah, I see. So you, like, I mean, if you're writing it purposely to be that way, I think there's, like, a better way, like, you know, if you're writing it kind of purposefully to be that way, then you can write it in a way that gives people an understanding, like, slowly but surely, of, like, I would say, like, eventually have it, like, be that the readers themselves begin to realize that this is a dream over that of being something like that. Or, like, I forget what it was. I think Inception, if I recall it, Inception, they just kind of left it open-ended on whether or not it was a dream or not, which I kind of like. Like, you know, kind of like mirroring the balance between what it is to be awake, what it is to be asleep, and just, like, kind of going back and forth with that and making the readers or even just anybody question of what's going on. And at the end, you can just, like, not say that it's a dream. You can just literally leave it open-ended. You think it's funny to say something? I mean, yeah. I mean, little George here, George the Frog, because George the Frog is my little text-to-speech bot on here. We've thought of pretty funny things with George the Frog here. I'm still debating on whether or not Art has this frog with her, or if she just finds it. I also have a funny idea of how to do, like, one scene that's supposed to be, like, super serious, and then all of a sudden just this frog lands on her face and she falls, because it's like a falling scene. She got that frog on clearance. I mean, it's more of that frog hopped on her shoulder and never left, you know? Like, that frog just stayed with her and she's just like, what the heck? I think that makes it funnier in a way. Just like, it's more of like, I don't even know what this frog is. And I don't know who this frog is. Like, what the heck? And that's kind of like how it's going along the lines of things. Yeah. Well, no, it does get explained. It gets explained at the end what the frog is. But, yeah. honestly, for the most part, with how I write things, everything that gets written and what happens is important. And I put that as emphasis. A lot of things that are kind of written in here are very much important in a way and aspect. And even when you think it's like something small, and again, I love doing foreshadowing. I love writing foreshadowing. There's always like little things, you know? Every little thing builds up to itself. And that's just how it goes. I feel like stuff like that where it's a small thing and oh, I already read that. I'm just like rereading chat again, man. I'm going crazy here. But also throwing in red herrings to get people to think. Well, the thing is, the big red herring. There is a big red herring. I have like plenty of red herrings. But it's like, can you look past the red herrings to see what is happening? And that's what's important. It's like, can you deduce this? I've deduced it. Can you deduce it? I will say something that's kind of helped me with planning out a little bit of foreshadowing is I kind of started making an analog horror, but I ended up putting that on the back burner. But that did, like, kind of, like, even with those few videos of what I created, like, because I only created, like, 3 videos, and then I kind of, like, put it on the back burner. So it's on a hiatus until I finish the comic, and then I'm gonna go back to it. That kind of helped me a little bit with how to layer foreshadowing. With just like little bits here and there. Like, it doesn't tell you a lot, but it still tells you like enough. And only until like you get to the 3rd video do you know that something definitely is incredibly wrong. Like, it does kind of throw you into it, but it's just like, why is this wrong and what is happening? That's kind of what we deal with. There's something wrong. Address what is wrong. But then realize that that isn't the full story. And that there's more to it. And that's kind of like what it is. And that's kind of how I build stuff. It's like, there's a problem. Go fix the problem. Oh, there's more to this problem. What is the more to it? You know? So, that's kind of how I like plan everything out. And most of the time, with how I'm writing it, I'm basically writing it, as I go. And so the thing is, I have like a template out of it, but I don't have like a full script. And the reason being I don't have a full script is because if I do that, I don't think that I'll be able to change it or have some loosey-goosiness with it. But I do have like a lot of very much more important things that are highlighted very well. So it's like, I know what each like different like little arc and section is. But it helps me to also just like keep in mind just like when I should put in a foreshadowing of something. And just like kind of like slowly just piece that together bit by bit. Now there's some big things that would be like, hey, look at this. But a lot of it, because it is a comic, a lot of the stuff is probably going to be very visual. That's exactly how I've been writing too, leaving wiggle room or for fan or friends to interpret and shape the story. Yeah, I think for the most part, like, the reason that I write it in that sort of way is just because it makes it feel like I'm not rigid. Because I feel like if I just typed it all out, like how most people do it, it feels too rigid for me. And it's just like, I want these characters to still be able to have some sort of influence on the story. Oh no, ads! Goodbye to the ads. Well, I need to work on the spear here. I'm gonna work on the spear. You know what? Let me do it how I did on the other one, which was no. There we go. Do. Oh, I put the wrong sock color. There we go. I think I need to increase this a little bit more. Oh, we got boobs. Just big boobs in the way. Boo 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 boo. I'm just gonna try and work on the spear here. Someone say boob. Yeah, I panned over the boobs because I was really up close trying to get the spear done. I was like, oh, boobs. There you go. There's your set. There's your boobs. There. I was like very up close and I was just like this. I was like, oh, boobs. Fan service, yeah. I will say this much. There's probably not going to be very much fan service in this. Let's go. No. I guess the only way that you get fan service really is like when I'm doing art and stuff like that. Beach episode when? Actually, funny you should say that. I am coming out with a new outfit in June as well. For my 3-year anniversary. For my 3-year stream anniversary and stuff like that. Or well, no, it's 2-year stream anniversary, 3-year anniversary of me streaming. Oh, I did this wrong. But there will possibly be a beach episode. Though technically it is not canon. I mean, okay, alright, hold on a minute. There actually technically is a beach episode. But let's just say it doesn't end as well as people assume it would. I'm just like thinking about it more. I'm like, actually, no, I'm a liar. There is a beach episode. My number one with friends. Insert a beach episode. Actually, no, because there is a group of people. Actually, you know what? Let me pull her up. I think I haven't pulled her up in a while. There's actually a group of people in my lore that's called Meridians, which are basically like merfolk. So technically, when they go there, like, yeah, it's technically a beach episode. I mean, I think it's a beach episode. I will say, though, it doesn't end happily, but a lot of these arcs don't. Okay, I gotta just put this out here. No, a lot of things that you wish end happily do not end as happily as you believe they will. Because I am a menace. Oh, you wanted these people to survive? Nah, not anymore. Well, I would say that there's good endings at some point. It's just like, maybe not the good ending that you wanted. That's kind of like mostly how it is. It's like, they're good endings in a way, but they're just not maybe the good ending you wished for. And that's kind of how I go for it. Another thing how I like to think about it is like, it's not an ending that they wanted, it's the ending they got. Oop, wrong color. Good endings, but not good enough to redeem the insanity. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, actually, basically. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Hold on, I'm trying to like remember how I did here, hold on. I'm opening up the no. Where is it? Yeah, it is this one. Try to remember how I did this. Oh, I did do it like that. Okay. So it's more... Oop. There we go. There we go. Do. No. Wrong one. This one. And then I just remember, okay. Doop. I'm like trying to orient this. There we go. There we go. Yeah. I just wanted to double check. There we go. I'm gonna be honest, I try and keep the spear, like, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I try and keep the spear, like, well, I'm gonna try and keep, like, a lot of things, like, relatively similar, and not change very much, so it's just, like, I gotta keep checking it. But, let me do, it's easier to kind of just do this, and then delete that. Boop. There we go. I'm gonna be honest out here, I am really bad at drawing weapons, and kind of like how to draw weapons, so just be prepared for this to probably look kind of shitty. And then put this here. And then do that. And then do. Boop-a-doo. Being consistent is the number one thing I get easily obsessed over. Yeah. Like, I will say this much. As long as the shape is correct and the rendering is kind of similar, enough to where you know that this is the same, like, that's fine to me. Because at the end of the day, with how my art style is very loosey-goosey, I will admit it is very hard to kind of keep it exactly consistent. Like, the only way that you can keep it consistent without it being a problem is if you do it, like, almost like a frame-by-frame animation, which, no one kind of really wants to see that much, so it's not really a good idea to do. And let me just do this. There you go. I will say this much, I have an understanding of how to draw metal, but I can't really sometimes draw it well. Actually, okay, I'm gonna just like put a little thing. The metal on the bigger cover, so like this one, okay, I'm proud of myself. I did all of this on the spear with my mouse. I didn't want to pull over my drawing tablet so early, and I was like, I don't want to really draw it like with my pen. I did this with my mouse. I did this with my mouse. No drawing pen, no drawing tablet, just the other screen and my mouse. And that's all I did. Because I was actually working on a Scuff model, and my Scuff like YouTuber models that I make, I draw all of it with my mouse. Because if I drew it with my pen, I don't think I would be able to achieve what I need to achieve. So I draw it all with my mouse on purpose. Those are the only models I purposely draw without using my pen at all. I mean, they come out really great because of how stupid they look. Actually, if you want to see some of my Scuff model work, hold on, let me see if I can have... Well, I don't want to pull anything up right now, but I did that all. I did all the spear, the entirety of the spear here was with that. I actually like this spear better than what I originally had as an idea for the spear, because this actually looks like a really big spear that is going to jab you. Actually, the funny thing is that I had to make this bigger. So normally a spear with its like blade is supposed to be smaller than this, but art is supposed to be short. So to other people, her spear is pretty normal, but to her, it's like big. So her spear isn't large. Her spear is average, but to everybody else, but to her, it's just big. Because normally, like, a spear shape, if you, like, actually look at a spear, it's smaller. It's mostly sometimes smaller or more narrower than this. But I had to make it bigger because it makes sense. When you see her next to other people, you'll understand. Because she's 5'7", and everyone else on average is about 6 feet tall. So, yeah, talk about being looked down upon. Like, she's actually legitimately looked down upon. But I made her short for a reason, and the reason just being is because of a lot of people, like, underestimate her. Because, yeah, there's also a few jokes here, in there that I'll write in about, like, some people mistaking her for being an actual literal child. Which, by the way, now I'm an adult, I do get recognized sometimes being like, oh, where's your mom? And I'm just like, I'm like 20, man. I'm like 20. Like, what are you talking about? Though I do need to be supervised sometimes because I'm a menace. But but that's just how it be sometimes. What happened? Oh. Da 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 da. You know what? Oh, I like listening to other things in the background while I do work. While I work on stuff. I actually talked about this before, but a lot of the stuff that I usually watch is like, I don't know, analog horrors or mystery stuff or true crime. And I'm like, you guys don't need to hear all that stuff in the background while I'm working on things. Oh, this is with the wrong color. There you go. Trying to like see how to do. There we go. I think that's shiny enough. Shiny. Oh, right. The sketch is still on. I can take the sketch off now. Da 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 da. There we go. Doing that. Oop, excuse me. 1, 2, 3. Do that and do that. There we go. This, multiply this, and add, and this is also an add. Because I have a way of doing eyes. Oh, that's the wrong color. That's for a different character. There we go. Alright. And then I'm just gonna assign it, and also, here, let me take this off the background. Do this. Oh, no, I do not want those colors. No, that would be cool. I'm like trying to like do other stuff. There we go. Oop. 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 Yeah. And then go in here, have some fun with this. There we go. And then technically I want to do this. And you know what? Let's put it in like a purple. Well, technically, you know what I could do? Take this and do that. Aha! Oop, that's too big. There you go. Do we think that that's big enough? I don't think it's big enough. Change this to normal. What am I doing? Doing this. I think I changed it to this. And then this. And did a Gaussian. Gaussian blur has been so much my best friend on things that glow. Actually, another thing I have to do to add to this is I need to go in and put an add to make some reflective light. But I wonder if this is big enough. Can y'all see this clearly? Of releases June 21st? Because I could put it down here. Actually, it might be better. There we go. Because this is like promotional, right? It's supposed to be to promote. But also it's like put up, to put up on my starting soon as well. Or not my starting soon, but my, to put up, when I'm doing my chatting. So it's like up there. So it's like, hey, this is coming out. This specific thing. And here's the time that it is coming out. Because I think that that would be helpful. But what I do have to do is on here, and then I think I picked this color if I remember. I'm doing this on all of this so it's easier for me to do it. Oh. Like, why isn't this working? I need to make this smaller. I'm gonna be honest, I usually don't do like two light source kind of situation, but I feel like for this it just had to make it feel cooler. Because then you get more like, I guess, an interesting dynamic to it. Gonna be lurking, but the art you were working on looks super cool. Thank you. It's promotional for the comic, so I need to work a little bit harder to make it look amazing. But thank you for lurking, Opie, as per usual. Well, you are succeeding. Thank you. Yeah, I will say, even there's some moments where I've like drawn some stuff in the comic and I'm just like, where the hell did I get this skill? But I'm so excited for it to come out. I'm a little nervous because basically what I have planned is that I'm gonna release the comic and then I'm gonna go on vacation. basically, I'm gonna drop it and run. And like the reason being is just so that then I can, so that then I leave it. So I'm not like being all like, oh, did anyone have anything new to say about the comic? Is there any like hits or is there any of this? It's to literally stop myself from doing that. It's to literally stop myself from reacting like that. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna drop it and do let's leave. Here's an idea. Let's leave. Yeah. But honestly, I think it's maybe not the best that everyone can do that, but the reason I'm doing it is just because I overthink a lot and it really sometimes screws me up a little bit, so I need to do that. There we go. And then another thing that I kind of did, which I really kind of liked as well, is I don't do this very often. Again, like this kind of artwork of like making it like a more finished piece, I can work like longer on it, but like for the main comic, you know, I can't spend as much time as I would like. There are some that I like do spend a little bit more time on when they are meant to be very impactful, but for the most part I just kind of chill out and do my own thing. There we go. And then, yeah, I don't usually do this too often, but I usually do this for like, kind of to give a little bit of a darker, to give it just a more darker appearance. Because then it also gives it more like, I guess, lighting direction as well. To see like that this is mainly in highlight and the rest of this is mainly in shadow. Just small techniques, you know. It's the little things. Because if I like remove this and then put this back on, it just gives it a little bit more life, I guess. There we go. And then I kind of want to do the same here, but ooh, not that. But we're gonna basically oop, wrong brush. Wrong brush. Coming out of Levare Ciruam to say, I am obsessed with how texturing and amazing the hair is. Thank you. I've actually always had a pretty good knack for hair, and I will say for the most part, movement of hair and just movement of fabric in general is something I've always been really great with. I know that a lot of people do struggle with it. I just honestly I don't know why, but I just always think of like draping sheets or something like that. But also, I'm just like, well, how powerful is the wind that's pushing the hair? And also because I feel like it needed to have some movement happening, or else I think it would look too still, you know? But you can check back in on how I rendered it, because, yeah. I will say for the most part, I have like a two-step rendering process, which is the, laying down shading shapes and then going in with rendering it more with the darker. And that's kind of how I've done it. A lot of it, I will say for the most part, literally look up how to do like hair with charcoal drawing and like do that, and that's kind of how I render hair. That's almost pretty similar to how I do it. Oh my goodness. Where the heck is this bit? There we go. I got it. Alright. And then we're gonna kind of go in with... No. This one I'm doing more with the... I'm actually using the mouse for this one to get some rendering and shading back in. Just because sometimes the mouse is a little bit more helpful. At least when it comes to rendering stuff like that. There we go. And I think with that we are done. Hooray! We finished! Hooray. Hooray. But yeah, so that's I think the end to this. I kind of want to move you over a little bit just to kind of see. Actually, that might. I think for the most part, what it is that this needs to move. There we go. I was just like, I didn't like how close this was to the edge. But now, I am gonna sign this, just because, like, even if I, like, just post this art up, I do want to have it at least, like, you know, signed. Because I just sign my work anyways. It's always, like, a good rule of thumb. And then... there we go. I always put a little watermark of my own on there as well. But there, and we are done. And I'm actually going to save this out. Funny enough, I actually have a time lapse I recorded of this as well. So, I'm actually going to probably be posting this up. Did you say time lapse? Yes, I did say time lapse. Yeah, honestly, the coloring and flat coloring is like all done. I will export this. I love art time lapses. Yeah. Well, I'm basically making the time lapse as a way of, like, you know, to turn it into short form content to kind of like help with like promoting it a little bit, because sometimes that keeps people engaged with me like talking while there's a time lapse going on. They tickle my little possum brain. Well, you get to see the full sketch work here as well, because I made a sketch and then I like rendered that sketch a little bit more, so you get to see like the full process of all the art. So let me just export that out. And then, now of course, like, I am also probably gonna just like, I can also just like regularly post it to like Twitter, but I know that on Twitter, like, time lapses sometimes don't do really well. But for like TikTok and like YouTube Shorts, when you post like up a time lapse of like, oh my god, and I found a way to like be able to record like over a time lapse, so I kind of have like things set up. But there's a current like time lapse video that I'm kind of trying to get done. And yeah, and most of them are like kind of like going for more short form content stuff. And the reason just being is because it's like, that's just how it ended up being. So let me put this. And I might like post one up without the, you know, without the talking, and then there's one like with it. And just for you, Opie, it is a minute. Actually, I normally do a minute, because it gives me more than enough time to kind of like edit it and like make it bounce around and stuff like that if I need to for editing purposes. Honestly, most times the full is like 2 minutes. It's like 2 full minutes. I'm like, god damn, 2 full minutes? So. Da 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 da. So let me do this. Say okay. Say okay. And there we go. Honestly, I had other plans to work on something else, but yeah. By the way, this is what we were referencing. I just wanted to see how well I could capture it again. I think I did it pretty well for recreating it again. So this is the new cover art for the comic. And then this is how we recreated it. I mean, I think we did better the second time, but you're always gonna do better the second time that you do it, because you have like more of an understanding. But I still like how this came out as well. But yeah, actually, on that note, let me repost this back up here again. But for those that don't know, I am gonna be posting it up on my own website. I just still have to make a command for it. But if you go to at the very top, you'll see webcomic, and there's a drop down, and you just click on Art of Chaos, and the picture, by the way, is already up. I already put the cover up already. I know it says, like, you know, the chapters, and there's already a prologue here. It's not a prologue. If you click on it, it's an announcement page of when it will be debuting. So yeah. But the cool thing is that we have comments. I was trying to figure out how to put comments on the site. I did figure out how to do it. So I did it, and there's gonna be an ability of you being able to actually click on the comics, to actually comment on stuff, which I think is really great. So like when it's actually written and stuff, like I can see all your little, you can actually put comments on the bottom, which I think is really good. I think that's really good. I'm also creating like a little bit of a character showcase to kind of like, tell you about all the characters and stuff like that, and just also having like little headshot pictures of them. So that's being worked upon in the background. Just so that there's like a few other things besides like the comic itself coming out. So you guys get like a little, some little extra goodies, you know? And eventually I will be making, probably turning some of this stuff into like, into merch eventually later down the line. I'm gonna be honest, if I had to choose between this one or this one, I think I might make this one into some merch, because I kind of like how it came out better here. Not to say that I didn't like this. This is also like really good too. I think I like the hair better on this one, but I like how I rendered like the bodysuit better on this one. And some of the face. I like the face better. Well, I like the face on here too. I think I like both of them. I like both of them in their own respective ways, you know? Because like for smaller form, like this works fine. And then for up close, this looks great. Yeah. But anyways, so let's move over to chatting and we'll talk a little bit. Because actually my throat's starting to hurt. Because I may have talked a little too much. Don't you just like it when you talk too much and then your voice hurts? The good thing is I'll be taking a break, you know, because I have tomorrow off for streaming. At least I have tomorrow off for streaming. But the good thing is now what we can do is I can change this picture up here. So let me just properties. I can browse and I can do the promo one instead. Ta-da! So I can make it bigger now as well. There we go. Ta-da! Actually, I do always constantly want to show like after we're done, like when we have a finished art piece. So that's the art piece we worked on. It was promotional material. But yeah, I'm actually like quite excited for the comic coming out. But ow. I'm just like moving stuff around so I can like I guess chill the rest of the day or do whatever I need to do, because I actually still need to edit some clips from last week, and then I need to I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that I have many clips from this stream. I'll go back and see what I can clip. But for the most part, for just a little last announcement of the day. So I'm creating a comic called The Art of Chaos, and it's going to be releasing on June 21st, and I am very excited. It's a fantasy action adventure with a lot of some dark themes and, well, fantasy. Some found family themes to it. Enemies to lovers happens, so there's gonna be some romance. So if you're interested in it, well, it'll be on my website. If you're watching on Twitch, it'll be right there. And if you're watching anywhere else, well, it'll be in the description or pop up somewhere. And that was me recording my promo for this without having to do anything. When in doubt, just record your promo live. I know I sound really tired, but maybe I might do it again with more enthusiasm. But that's the promo art that we did. I'm honestly like kind of like really excited for it. Again, I will always continuously reiterate that I am very, very much excited for it. I'm just now starting to get tired, and I'm like, my engine's running out, so let's go and find somebody to raid. Oh, you know what? In honor of us playing Hades on Friday, in honor of us playing Hades on Friday, maybe we'll raid someone that is playing Hades. Which, by the way, I'm trying to not watch any Hades 2 streams. So we're just going to be playing Hades. And that's just basically what's going to happen. And honestly, I have noticed that a lot of people have been like ticking up with views in watching Hades streams because they want to prepare themselves for Hades 2. So if you are interested, we're going to be playing Hades only until the full release of Hades 2 comes in. So that's basically what we're going to be doing for the most part. So let me get them up and we're going to be raiding into them. Because I always like pulling up their stream, so then when I raid into them, it's like I can see the reactions. This is also a good friend of mine as well, or like a acquaintance of mine. In other news, we do have the 2.0 that is still happening. We're still trying to reveal the 2.0. So we're still trying to reveal the 2.0. You know what? Maybe what I might do is pull that up really quickly, so I can show off like how much of it we have revealed. I'll just show how much we have revealed so far, really quickly. Just before we raid, let me show off what we have revealed for the 2.0 so far. So for our 2.0 design, we only have the first thing unlocked, which is this much. I don't know how big this is gonna be. Oh, okay, so it's not gonna be that big. So we only have this much of it revealed. So if you want to continue on revealing it, but here's like more of an up closer shot. Yes, that is some thigh that is shown, but we're trying to get to, I believe 30 likes on it. We're like at 15, or no, 16. So if we can get it more unlocked, I hope so, and then I can show off like more of this awesome, cool design. Yeah, I really hope that I can get it unlocked in like 2 weeks, but honestly, at this point, it seems like that might not be the case, and that makes me a little sad. Because it's like, I want to reveal it. Don't you guys want the art released from art jail? Because it's an art jail right now. The 2.0 is really is an art jail, meaning that you can't see it. So if you want to see it all and be able to actually see like and be able to also eventually see see all the art I've drawn for it, including some other interesting art, like definitely, like, you know, definitely go and do that. And think that is up on my Twitter or X, whatever you guys call it. What do the hip kids call it? What do the hip kids call it? It's pinned, so it's like very easy to see it. But anyways, without any further ado, let's actually get on to rating my fine fellow froggy friend here, because they are a frog. There we go. And let's get the raid message going, because we have a raid message. You know what I just, like, slowly I've been starting to realize is, like, with BQBot, I just realized that I could technically put, like, I could probably, if I wanted to, put stuff for my emotes. But we will see. I have to test stuff out. I always keep testing new things out to see what works and what doesn't. But anyways, I'm getting tired. I gotta go, because I didn't sleep well, and I probably need to go take a nap or something. But I do want to thank you all so much for being here and, like, supporting, and because of your guys' continued support is the reason that I'm able to keep on going and making this comic. And without you guys, like, really being here, I don't think that I would be, like, making as much as I am. I wouldn't be, releasing the model reveal for my 2.0, I wouldn't be moving forward with like doing all this comic stuff. But the more that you guys talk about it and like are here and just being here for it is just like great for me. And it makes me cry. It makes me want to cry. But happy tears. Cry happy tears. Because of you guys. That is how I'm able to keep going and doing what I love. And I love and appreciate every single one of my little storms out here. Which, if you reveal the 2.0, by the way, you guys are going to get to see your new mascot. You're hatching into something new. Because I just realized how the little storms I always made looked like eggs. And so I'm like, oh, you guys are like hatching into a new form. If you want to see that, we have to get to like 60 likes, I believe. I don't know why I made it so high. I probably should have put it down to maybe 25 or something. But no, I'm insane. I apparently demand a lot. But anyways, as I always say, thank you all my little storms for watching. And may the winds guide you until next time. Goodbye, everybody.